Ian, have you had any good case studies you've been working on recently you'd like to share?
We recently completed a project in Marchwood down in the New Forest for LNT Developments. First up, LNT Developments, they're a great client of ours. Done multiple projects with them now, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 now projects. They build care homes up and down the country, lots of these every year. But this was actually, the Marchwood project was actually the first one we did with them back last year for a care home down there. And an interesting project probably because it was pre-mandatory BNG. So what I mean by that is anything that went through planning before the 12th of February last year, 2024, is classified as pre-mandatory. So some of the rules are more flexible, essentially, and it really is down to the LPA what they will or won't accept. It was the first time we dealt with Gary and the team at LNT, so we obviously wanted to build up their confidence in what we were doing and how we could do it. So it might be worth just chatting about that and telling you about how that came about. Probably on the pre-mandatory thing, the first thing where I think we added value was realizing that they didn't need to do a 10% BNG uplift and helping them to negotiate that with the LPA. So they ended up having to do just a 1% uplift on the BNG, which saved them a lot of money. In some respects, you would say, why would we as a unit broker try and help a client to do that? Well, because we will earn less money, but ultimately this is all about a long game of building relationships and helping people out. And that's why the advisory part of the business has been really important to us. Anyway, step one, we managed to negotiate down the requirement for them, looking at their metric, working with their ecologist, doing all that stuff. And then step two, we went out to look at options in the market. And I suppose the other thing that was a bit interesting was we ended up going with an adjoining NCA Habitat Bank. We actually went with Environment Bank on this occasion, who did a great job, got us all through and were really easy to deal with. There was actually a in NCA option, but they were so overpriced. It was actually cheaper to use the adjoining NCA in the end. So that was quite unusual. We also found an in NCA option with a Habitat Bank that told us they had a Habitat Bank, but when we did all the due diligence and probed into it, they were nowhere near ready. And so that was something we ended up doing. So one of the things we do at Biodiversity Units is we do that sweep of the market. We look at all the different options and pick based on price, what the LPAs are going to accept, the requirement, and how easy they're going to be to deal with. And so, the project in a nutshell was about one, making sure the requirement was as palatable as possible for the developer, and then two, finding the right supplier and getting that transacted. So yeah, it's a great project to get out the door with LNT, and it's been the start of a relationship where we're now doing lots and lots of projects with them.
And what would you say the big lessons you learned out of that project were?
I suppose the big things were there's more than meets the eye with these things, and just you can't just receive a dephrometric and quote and that's it. You've got to really be assisting that client, working with the LPA and the ecologist to make sure you're getting the best deal for the developer. And then the easy stuff that we do day in, day out for other developers is sweep the market, find the best options, get them the best price, get it transacted.